You're listening to a Frequency Podcast Network production.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Welcome to Thursday. My name is Brock.
I'm Dalby.
Big announcement. We officially reached $60,000 this morning, so that does mean our good friend Tommy will be bringing in the bull testicle for us to eat tomorrow.
Which means we get to spend the next 24 hours, or a little bit less, just dreading it. You know, like, if the donations hadn't come in until Friday, we could be spending Friday with a, like, will they, won't they kind of thing. But now, you just have impending doom waiting for us tomorrow morning.
Is this what, like, people that are out on bond feel like until they go to, trial?
They know they've got a court date in the morning?
Yeah.
Is this your last day of freedom? What are you going to eat for your last pre-ball meal?
I don't know, man. I honestly, like, I've been laughing about it all week, but then it's like, as soon as we hit the 60 grand, I'm like, crap, this is real. But it does make me happy because even right now, as of recording this, we're at $62,000 for the jackpot.
Yeah, over
which
that.
is awesome, and it's kind of got me feeling like I'm an OnlyFans girl or something, because it's like, people are paying to watch us do something weird on the internet.
I'll tell you right now, brother, this is the only ball that could earn $62,000 for either one of us.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I've seen some weird shit on the internet. If only we could do X-rated content to raise money for Breast Cancer Canada.
I think the problem with that is you start doing the X-rated content to raise money and you don't raise the money. Now, not only did you fail in your goal, but that's got to cut deep, man.
As long as you have fun, right? That's what my old man always says.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
There's people at Disney World, like, before the hurricane hit yesterday.
What are you doing? They'll still be there after this is over.
There was people at Disney World. I saw videos of people surfing.
Oh my God.
I mean, I was on TikTok last night. The amount of people that are live streaming right now, just sitting in tents and stuff like that.
Just hanging out. Yeah. I saw pictures of people. They were standing in, like, it was like one of those, the mega churches they have down there.
Yeah.
And they have these elaborate walls with the giant roof-to-floor windows. It's an amazing view. Until you realize they're staring at a hurricane. Go somewhere safe.
People in Florida just don't give a 3.825.
I hate to use the phrase, but they're built different. They're just different people.
One thing that actually made me laugh is, have you seen the photo of the guy who tied down his house?
The guy with the zip strips from front yard to backyard?
Yeah. Yeah. He's got, like, those big tie-down ratchet strips.
That's it, the ratchet straps. Yeah. He's got, like, I think, like, 4 or 5 of them across the house. And yeah, they're just dug into the front yard, up over the roof, and then latched in the back, strapped tight.
The crazy thing is right now it's a meme. If it works, he's a genius.
Dude, if it works, people will be, like, setting up, they'll be buying, measuring out house-sized ratchet straps on Monday. Like, if it works, he's a genius.
Whatever company made these straps, this is the best or worst advertisement for them.
Do you think when he got the last one, like, cinched in, he walked over to the side of the house and... Well, that's not going anywhere.
Oh, 100%. You know this has to be a dad, right?
100%.
This is a dad who said the not going anywhere and has lost a million things.
Yeah. Also, how do you think he got them over the house? Because I, just as an idiot, I guess he, like, poured some concrete in different places in the front yard so that he could, like, secure them in.
I'm assuming, yeah.
I would 100% grab the other end and drop back like Joe Montana and try and fire the ratchet strap over the roof.
It's also a funny idea if he just hooked them into the grass.
If he hadn't made supports or anchors. If he just dug them into the lawn.
Fingers crossed.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
We got a friend of the show, Bobby, on the phone. Bobby, I'm curious. What is the craziest thing you've ever tried to strap or tie down, my friend?
I was going by the scrap bin about 2 years ago, and I got a little Mississippi hatchback, and I saw this sweet metal bench, but it was like 10 feet long for my backyard. We were redoing the deck. So I shoveled it into the back of the car and had about 4 or 5 feet hanging out of the back of the hatchback. And I got lucky because there was an alarm clock with the cord still in the scrap bin, and I didn't have any tie down.
Get out of here, dude.
I just used the alarm clock to tie this like 10-foot in backyard bench to the back of my hatchback.
You're my favorite kind of person, man. Every time I go to Home Depot, I see people like you playing that game of will it fit in the car?
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah, man! I never buy anything but a hatchback, dude. I have a wallet chain. I use that a lot too to make sure that the car door stays closed or whatever if I can. And that was on St. Patty's Day. It was actually part of my wife's anniversary gift.
The bench?
The bench, yeah. It was over the back deck. It was nice.
Yo, you know when you see like car commercials, they show them like driving down mountains and stuff? This should be an advertisement for every hatchback, just showing Bobby with something hanging 10 feet out the back.
Right, boys. I love the hatchback. I'll never have any other kind of car.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
David, what is your story, my friend?
So when I was working in Ottawa, I drove tow truck for a while, and I got called from the OPP to an accident. And it was a bad accident. Unfortunately, somebody didn't make it, and it was so bad that they couldn't get the body out of the vehicle.
Oh.
So they told me to bring a tarp, and I got there. I loaded the car onto my flatbed, and then I threw the tarp over, and then I ended up using bungee straps and stuff to try to hold it down.
Are we talking about the
bringing
body?
The vehicle to the police station. And the officer said, I'm going to ride on the back of your tow truck in case the tarp goes up because I don't want anybody to see the body.
Oh.
So I grabbed one of my little Canadian Tire orange ratchet straps and I wrapped it around his belt. And I ratchet strapped the police officer to my back rack. So that way he at least was tied down to my tow truck, if anything. And he told me,
are you being
that if
serious
I fall
right
off,
now? Is this real?
Yeah, it's 100% real.
You're probably the only person to ever say I tied down a body to the back of my truck, and it's not going to jail.
There you go. Little Canadian Tire ratchet straps.
There we go. That's the best advertising for Canadian Tire ratchet straps I ever heard.
I kind of want to go buy a set right now.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
I started watching that Face Off documentary series on Amazon yesterday about the NHL.
Oh, is that the one? Is it about the Oilers or is it just about the NHL in general?
It's about a bunch of different players. I mean, the William Nylander section is literally the first episode, and it's pretty short considering the Leafs got eliminated in the first round.
Yep.
But the McDavid one, the part is pretty good. And of course, I'm assuming everyone's seen this clip going around after they were losing in the finals.
Oh my God.
Now!
Yeah.
Whatever the you have! That is not good enough!
And I will say, you know, I like seeing that kind of energy. It's good leadership.
I respect it for sure. I think my biggest problem is that it's all undercut every time his voice cracks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He sounds like he just dropped a taco in the fryer at Krusty Burger in The Simpsons.
Sing the in right now!
It's almost kind of that. Remember when you were a kid and you kind of you get a little riled up and you're like, you go into your room and like, I'm moving. I hate you guys.
You're really upset about something and you don't quite know yet at that age how to process that anger, and all your emotions you just feel jammed up.
Yeah.
And that's Connor McDavid while he's also trying to like take his socks off.
If I was working in the trades right now, I would keep this on my phone, this little soundbite, and whenever people are slacking,
Sing the in right now!
people are like, I'm working.
That is not good enough!
Site supervisors just holding a walkie-talkie up to the speaker, playing it over and over again for people.
Your buddy says he's gonna bail on drinks to hang out with his girlfriend again.
Sing the in right now!
Dude, even if your kids are refusing to eat dinner, I know you got picky eaters at home.
Yeah.
In right now!
Alex looks at you, she's like, Dad, is this good enough?
That is not good enough!
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Nintendo is branching out, getting into some other aspects of your life. Obviously, they're already pretty key to video games. Your parents will still call any Xbox, PC game, PlayStation, Nintendo. But they want to get into your bedroom now. What do you currently use to set an alarm? Use your phone?
Just my phone, yeah.
I feel like that's most people nowadays. You're less and less likely to find an actual alarm clock in people's rooms. But Nintendo is going to be launching later this year around the holidays what they're calling Alarmo, which is their new Nintendo alarm clock that uses motion detection to help wake you up using video game noises.
Okay.
Here, they explain it pretty well in this video of how it works. So you have the clock on your bedside table facing you in the bed. That's where this starts.
Alarmo detects movement with its motion sensor.
So as you move...
And responds to your actions with sounds.
It'll start, like, as you're, like, kind of rolling, shuffling back and forth in the bed, it'll act, if you choose the Mario one, like you're collecting coins in the game.
Yeah.
And then it gets progressively louder and louder that noise is supposed to wake you up.
That's genius, actually.
I like the idea, like, it makes it kind of more fun, but, like, tell me if I'm wrong, would the sound of a Mario coin ever wake you up?
No, I think they could do the same thing, but they could make like an alarm clock and call it like System of a Down clock or something, and then it's just the wake up.
Yeah.
Wake up.
It lets you roll around and it starts getting louder and louder, and then if you still haven't sat up, it'll scream at you.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things about this, though, the Alarmo clock that I do like, is it has a snooze button on top. So if it does kind of wake you up with the game music and the noises and stuff like that, you can reach over and be like, hey, give me 5 more minutes. But if you hit it, and it doesn't say how many times, but the more often you hit the snooze button, you know, Bowser, the bad guy from the Mario games, will come up on the screen of the clock, and then it'll get like really loud and aggressive to wake you up. He's the final boss for sleeping in, apparently.
It's a genius idea, to be honest.
Here's the thing. I like the idea. The tech is interesting. They say that you're going to be able to download different games on there as like themes and stuff like that. How much would you pay for this?
I wouldn't. I probably wouldn't.
Maybe you're not the target demographic. I get that. But even like, I have to imagine with the holidays coming up, you have a gamer significant other. Parents are listening who have gamer kids that are maybe thinking this would be cool. This clock costs $100.
I'll say this. If you have a dog in the house, you've already got the best alarm clock.
If you're motion sensitive.
If your kids do not wake up, sick the dogs on them.
Absolutely. Just let them in, take their favorite toy, throw it in the bed. Dogs don't come with a snooze button. They're going to wake your kids
They
up.
will lick your face. They will sit on your head. They will do everything to get you out of bed, dude.
Podcast exclusive.
You know, I just had another thought about the alarm. Like, we were talking about using it as an alarm clock and for waking up and stuff like that. But if your alarm clock has a motion sensor in it and makes noise when you start moving around, and you have a partner in the bed with you.
Oh, you can't have any morning quickies, though.
Do you think that the clock starts making Mario coin sounds if you start getting amorous?
Every thrust that you get in?
I will say this, though, now that I'm thinking about it, that might make a guy feel pretty good.
Yeah.
Right? You start getting going, and all of a sudden you just hear ding, 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 ding.
They should make like a Mortal Kombat one. Get over here. Finish him.
I don't think it's supposed to resemble Mortal Kombat when you get into it, but you know what? To each their own.
Who are you to judge how I live my sex life?
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
British Barry, how you doing?
Not so bad. Reference your what you're going to be eating tomorrow.
With the testicle?
I had some experience of it in Albania years ago. I was staying at a hotel on the Adriatic. And the governor of the hotel was trying to butter me up because if he looked after me, I'd book the hotel more and more for all my clients.
Yeah.
So he was giving me seafood, he was giving me all the beers, the whole lot. The guy was a complete nutter.
Yeah.
Halfway through the night, all the clients are having seafood, and he brought me over this big pile of meat and meatball sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And I troughed it down, and it was really, really good. it tasted lovely, like bacon and beef. Turns out it was sheep and lamb testicles, built into meatballs. But it's all in the way you cook it.
I mean, yeah, but also sometimes what you know don't hurt you, right?
I wasn't aware of what it was until I was eating it, and then all the locals were laughing at me and that lot. So if Tommy smokes it and does his sauces and stuff like that, you are going to be sorted. The only thing is, it's really rich, and in the morning, it upsets your guts.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's upsetting our guts even thinking about it beforehand.
My guts have been messed up since Tuesday morning.
Yeah, I don't know whether or not it's the testosterone or the proteins or whatever, but it's so rich, your stomach can't really take it. It's not bad, it's not horrible, it's just very strong.
Now, I guess the even better question is, as someone who has had experience eating balls, what drink would pair best with a testicle?
Well, I was drinking some local lager.
Okay.
But to be honest, drinking anything is going to be better than drinking nothing.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, boys, good luck, and I hope you hit the target.
Cheers, brother.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers, mate.
You know, I didn't think about it until we were talking about it with him right now. What should we have paired with the ball tomorrow morning?
Well, I think we've tried some different drinks and stuff like that on this show and different taste tests and stuff like that. I think that the best one that we've done that might go the best with smoked bull testicle, just a nice frosty bottle of Carling.
Yeah.
You know, just to wash it all down.
You know, some do say that beer is the best chaser.
Well, I just think if nothing else, I could drink a couple before and it might make it easier to stomach.
Get the liquid courage going up there. Maybe take a shot of tequila just to wash the pain away after.
Yeah, honestly, even just the way tequila goes down with a little bit of a burn.
Yeah.
You know, just sort of scorch the earth, salt the earth, make sure there's nothing
a
left
real palate cleanser
in the esophagus. Yeah.
And if you really didn't like it, I mean, might help it come back up again.
That's when I use the scotch. The scotch is the one that comes up the fastest. Any prairie oyster sommeliers out there that can help us out today?
The Brock and Dobby Podcast.
So I'm figuring since you're going to be eating a prairie oyster, a wheat beer is probably going to be your best pairing.
Are you just going on nothing but the word prairie for that? Is that?
Well, to be honest, I've had snake, I've had moose, I've had seal, I've had bear, I've had deer, I've had porcupine.
Okay, you're a menace at the zoo. We get it. What does that have to do with eating balls?
It all comes down to whatever you want to drink with it is probably going to be the best. I'm just figuring if this is something that they eat on the regular out west, then they make a lot of wheat beer out there because that's what they friggin' grow.
So what you're saying is we just need Pilsner?
Just grab a tall Pilsner.
Get real foobar with it?
Everybody on the text line is talking about beer and alcohol. Nobody is suggesting anything other, probably because it feels like you have to be at least a little bit tipsy to eat testicles.
Yeah, I get that. Honestly, there's a couple of people that have said just drink some hot sauce.
Yeah.
Because then it'll just burn everything away and you'll be so focused on that you won't be able to be grossed out after.
I think if I was going to go that route, though, that wouldn't be my chaser. That would be my preamble, right? I would do the hot sauce first. Just ruin your mouth.
Oh, now Homer Simpson when he goes to the chili cook-off and he pours the candle down
when
his
he drinks
mouth.
the candle.
Yeah.
Just protect yourself from being able to taste or feel anything, and then who cares what the chaser is?
Someone else just texted and said your favorite food is probably the best chaser that you could have.
Oh, you take a bite of the bull testicle and then you immediately replace it with pizza. Yeah. So that your brain is oh no, I like this. Yeah. This is fine.
If I could have a pizza creamy garlic dip with my bull testicle tomorrow morning.
Maybe that's it. Maybe dip itself is the key. I'll ask this, 762-555. Is dip cheating? Because we've already had some people that are like, oh, you guys got to eat the testicle raw, which we're not, that's not even sanitary. We're not doing that.
Yeah.
But is then, smoking it, cooking it, and then putting it in a dip, are we now going too far? Do you have to raw dog the cooked testicle?
Dude, we were set up. What do you mean? He was going to let us sauce it. Why are you asking the people this? They're obviously going to say no. Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
I don't know, man. You dragged me down this road, all right? We're here because of you and Joe Rogan. Don't put the blame on me.
We're here because we have fantastic listeners who love charity, okay?
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
I got asked to be in a radio contest yesterday as a judge.
Okay.
That was a weird experience. Basically, it's some contest called Radio Star. It's like an international thing where people from around the world apply. And I think at the end, there's like some radio job in the Cayman Islands that's up for grabs.
Do you get to be like Randy Jackson? You can be like, that's going to be a no for me, dog.
Well, basically, that's what it was. I had to listen to 10 different clips from people from Canada, the UK, Scotland, Ireland, all over the place, all vying for this job. And then I had to give them a score out of 100 based on, like, I don't know, I guess been in radio for a while. So they were like, you're an expert. Tell them what they're doing wrong. And not only did I have to give them a score, but I had to, like, write out, like, you did this well. You did this poorly. You could have done this better.
You're legit critiquing them, yeah.
I hated it. Oh my God. I am not cut out to be. Some people are good at judging things. Some people are like, they're critics and stuff like that for a living. I don't think I could do it. As I was writing these notes of people that were like needed work on things, all I could picture is like, well, this person's going to hate me now.
Man, they should ask some of the people that hate our show because, I mean, they judge us all the time. I see those texts coming in. They should be judges for this radio
I should just start sending out these links to people on our text line and be like, hey, can you help out with this contest? You seem to have a real knack for it.
Yeah.
Have you ever judged, like, have you ever been asked to judge anything before?
There was a karaoke contest when I lived in Prince Albert, Saskatchewan, and then they also had a lip syncing contest that I got to be a judge for. That was pretty fun.
Lip syncing contest, I feel like, yeah, like air guitar, that sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
I feel like that would be fun because, like, nobody's taking it too seriously. But even with the karaoke contest, like, were there people getting upset?
Oh, yeah.
See, that's the
also,
part I
it's
can't
like,
handle.
you've heard me sing before. There's no reason I should have been a judge at the contest.
Oh, I didn't even think that's amazing.
Right? Well, you never think about, like, who the judges actually are and what their background is sometimes.
What they're
like,
capable of.
There's a lot of times that, like, I've worked a lot of events in radio over the years where they're like, we've got a celebrity judge. And you're like, celebrity's a bit of a stretch.
Yeah,
but, like,
we don't use the C word in that context. Sorry.
I will say, I think the coolest one that you could be a judge for is, I don't know if High Times still does it, but the Cannabis Cup.
Oh, is that where you go through different strains?
Yeah, they literally have just a group of people that just sit around there and just kind of pass the Dutchie to the left-hand side.
See, I feel like that one would be tough after the first one. Right? Because, like, you would do it, and then you would impair you for being able to judge all the others, wouldn't it?
You got enough experience. You know what you're doing, right?
The best thing I was ever asked to judge, I got asked to judge a food truck wars back in Saskatchewan, where basically they just took over, like, a mall parking lot, brought in about half a dozen food trucks, and they all prepared food for me.
Yeah.
And then I decided which one was best.
The only thing that sucks about food is some food sucks.
Yeah.
So then it's like you're just eating crappy food, and you know that it sucks, and you're going to give it a bad score, but you still have to eat it.
Yeah, well, I feel like that's the clean plate club, right? Like, you can look, okay, I got 6 things in front of me. 4 of them I completely demolished the entire thing, and the other 2 I picked at. 4-2, I think, is still worth the effort. I think it's still worth the time of, I had to eat a couple of
free
bad
food
things.
is free food, I guess.
Free food is free food, and if most of it is delicious, then that's a good time.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
We got a unanimous answer on the text line of wet t-shirt or bikini contest from a lot of the guys.
Yeah, pole competitions we're seeing on that. But also, some of the other more interesting answers here. Ashley says she always thought it would be fun to be a judge on, like, one of those either dance or singing shows on TV. Like, she mentioned America's Best Dance Crew.
Okay.
She's like, I'm already judging from the couch. I was thinking about, like, America's, what's the, America's Got Talent, Canada's Got Talent.
Mm-hmm.
I think those ones would be fun at the beginning when you get the good and bad acts, like, early auditioning.
Yeah.
Because it's so much fun to laugh at some of the bad ones.
Also, it'd be a really sick feeling to just crush someone's dreams and hit the
Right. Someone's standing up there, they give you the big 2-minute sob story about, like, I'm here for my mom and my dad, and they always believed in me. And then you're just like, you are not good enough at this. And you,
Yeah. I mean, in general, what if they had like the Olympics, but instead of having judges that are, known in that sport,
right?
You just had the average Joes that are sitting with the potato chips on their chest being like, eh.
It would definitely make things like with breakdancing at the Olympics this year. And like there was all this talk about like, how does the scoring work in a dance competition? Would have been hilarious to just judge based off of like 5 regular people sitting off to the side, and every time at least 3 of them go, oh, it's like, okay, that's a point for this dancer.
yeah.
Anytime you can blow away someone who has no knowledge of the sport, you get a point. I also like Justice's text, 762-555, where he said, I would love to just be Judge Justice, like Judge Joe Brown on one of those TV judge shows.
Oh, yeah, or like Judge Judy kind of thing.
And just have people bring all their messy business and tell you their stories, and then you get to just like lord over them at the end of the day.
Brother, that's called Facebook.
For more Brock and Dalby, tune in weekday mornings 5:30 to 9.
The Brock and Dalby podcast is brought to you by badshop.ca, the Brock and Dalby merch store, with all proceeds going to the Canadian Cancer Society.